Hello and welcome to my latest walkthrough, which is for Skool Daze. Now, those of you who watch my top 10 will know that this is one of my top 10 games, one of my real favourites. It's a superb game and quite a lot's already been said about it. You play Eric and your school report is going to be pretty bad, so you've got to get it out of the head safe and change it so that your parents don't ground you for the entire summer when you get home from school. And to do that, there's quite a strange plot actually. What you've got to do is there's various shields around the building, and you've got to make all of them flash by hitting them in one way or another. So you can shoot them with catapults, or you can jump up and hit them. The ones on the top floor, you can just jump straight up and hit them. The ones on the second floor, you either can jump on one of your classmates, which is probably a bit brutal actually, but this is a computer game, so we won't worry too much about health and safety. Or you can bounce a catapult shot off a teacher's head, and then the ones on the bottom floor you can only get by bouncing a catapult shot off a teacher's head. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to give my shout out because a few people noticed that when I did my Starquake walkthrough, I forgot to give a shout out at all. So for this game, I'm going to give my shout out to SoCal Mike from the Retro Gaming Roundup podcast. SoCal really liked this game when they reviewed it for their top 10 Spectrum games. Can't remember where it came in the top 10 Spectrum games, but it was pretty high up actually, and this is an absolutely superb game. And thank you SoCal for liking this so much. I've already given out a shout out to UK Mike. I'll have to find a game where I can give a shout out to Scott. So I've got the trio of all the presenters of the Retro Gaming Roundup show. Although regular listeners to that show will know that SoCal actually isn't a presenter, he's only associate now. He was thrown off the show for various reasons. You can go back and listen to the show if you want to know about. But he's still a friend of the show and a really good guy to boot. Not met him actually. I've met Scott and I've met UK Mike quite a few times, but I've never actually met SoCal. I don't think he's ever been over to the UK, and I've never been over to the US, not to any expos over there anyway to meet him. Hope to one day, you never know your luck. So back to how you complete this game. Once all the shields are flashing, if you knock over a teacher, it will give you one of the combination letters for the safe, which sounds easy, except one of the teachers, Mr. Creek, won't give you the combination letter just by being knocked over when the shields are flashing. You have to find out his birthday and write it on a blackboard. And the way you find his birthday is that you go into one of his lessons and he'll ask Einstein what happened in the year he was born, and Einstein will tell him that it was a battle of such and such. You've then got to find out when that battle was and write it on the blackboard. So here's my first tip of the game actually. When you're in the map room, sometimes there aren't enough seats, but what you can do is if you follow Mr. Withit in and stand behind him there, then he doesn't actually notice that you're not in a seat, so he doesn't give you lines. He does give you lines if Einstein tells tales on you, which he just has. Once you have the 4 letters of the combination to the safe, you've got to write them on a blackboard in the correct order. The headmaster's letter always comes first, and then the other 3 teachers in whatever order they're needed. So it's a random order for the other 3. So that gives you 6 possible combinations. So you have to try the combination on the blackboard up to 6 times. And every time you try, you've got to go to the safe and try and hit it. And the safe will flash if it's correct. Once the safe flashes and you've got the report, you then have to go and turn all the shields back off. And that's the end of the game once you've done that. So it's quite a lot to do. It's quite convoluted. The most important thing to start with is, of course, getting the shields and getting Mr. Creek's birthday. And one tip that I'd give is that actually it can be a good idea to make sure that try and get Mr. Creek's birthday before you've done all the shields, because once you've hit all the shields, Einstein tends to tell tales on you a little bit more often than he does before you've got all the shields, making the game just slightly harder. So a good thing to do is not to worry too much about hitting all the shields straight away. And what I tend to do is the shields on the top that you can get quite easily, you just have to jump up. I actually leave them for quite a while, and don't get those till last, or some of them till last. Probably the ones in the room that Mr. Creek's in now are the best ones to leave, because they're well out of the way and you can just get them quite easily once you've got all of the others. Now, one thing I will say about this game is it is a brilliant game just to run around and cause mayhem, do what you want. But actually, it can get a little bit boring at times when you're trying to complete it properly, when you're trying to do the proper thing. And the reason for that is if you just go around and do what you want, firing the catapult all the time, not going to lessons, writing on blackboards, causing mayhem, you'll pretty quickly clock up a lot of lines. And to do the game, you don't really want a lot of lines. You want as few lines as possible. So you kind of have to be a bit good. Go to lessons, make sure you do what you're told. Don't hit Einstein needlessly, otherwise he'll tell tales on you. Don't write on blackboards needlessly, otherwise Einstein could tell tales on you for doing that as well. So it's a brilliant game and it's a fantastic sandbox game, but it can be a little bit boring. And I will admit one thing: a couple of times while I was practicing this, don't think I did it on this run through, but definitely while I was practicing it and emulating it, what I do is if I was in a lesson and I was a bit bored, I'd actually just clock up the speed on the emulator so that the time went quicker. Another good tip: so if you're playing this on an emulator and you want to complete it and you're getting a bit bored, then just crank up the speed on the emulator and it shouldn't be too difficult to complete. Right, so we've got a lesson now with Mr. Creek. Let's go there, and with any luck he'll tell us when his birthday is. So here comes Mr. Creek. Oh no, Boy Wonders just knocked me over. Actually, one of the great things about this game is you could change the name of all the characters. So when I was a kid, I always used to change the names of the characters to different names and the names of the teachers to different teachers. I think I said in the top 10 that Mr. Withit looked a lot like Mr. Johnson, who was in our school. Mr. Johnson was pretty cool, actually. He wasn't really, really cool. I don't think we had any teachers I'd call really, really cool in my school when I was a kid, but Mr. Johnson was okay. And here we come, and hopefully Mr. Creek will actually be able to get into the room and get to the point where he can ask what happened in the year of his birth. Let's see if he does it this time. Fingers crossed. Now, is Einstein going to tell tales on anyone? Oh no, here we go. Well, better just let him get on with it, because we want Mr. Creek to get to the point where he asks when his birthday was. When Einstein gets lines, by the way, you get score. So the way you score in this game is by making the shields flash, doing what you need to complete the game, and by getting Einstein lines. Now here we go. What happened in the year that I was born? Come on, Einstein. Please, sir, I cannot tell a lie. It was the Battle of Agincourt. And as everybody knows, the Battle of Agincourt was in 1415. Actually, it might not have been in 1415. One of the interesting things about the game is I think some of the dates of the battles are actually wrong. They're not correct. It wasn't Agincourt in 1812, I know that. So what you can actually do now is you can write the battle's year on the blackboard, and if Mr. Creek sees it, he will give up his letters straight away. You don't have to wait until all the shields flash, which, as I say, is a good idea. It's a good idea to do it sooner rather than later. Now the bottom ones are some of the hardest guessing, the most risky, because you've got to kind of catapult the teachers. I think I just hit the wrong key there to do that. The keys are quite tricky in this game. There are loads and loads and loads of different keys for all the different things you can do. The sit, stand, use your catapult, run. The ones in the sequel, Back to School, are even worse. So anyway, while we're waiting for this, a bit of trivia about the game. The game was released in 1984 by Microsphere. Written by David Riley. And he wrote, of course, quite a few games for Microsphere. He wrote the sequel to this, Back to School, and then there was another one, Contact Sam Cruise. I've never played Contact Sam Cruise. Would like to sometime. I think one of the things that put me off on that game, I remember reading the review, and you can actually, when you go inside the buildings, you can't really see where you are. And I think that put me off. But this is a really, really good game. Back to School expands the game a lot further. Haven't completed Back to School for a long time. I have completed it. I bought it nearly as soon as it came out. To be honest with you, I liked Skool Daze so much. That was one of the titles I bought pretty soon after it had come out. So in Crash Magazine, the game got 93%, which is pretty good. It was a crash smash, as you'd probably expect. One of the reviewers actually remarked on the 3D graphics that the game has. Now, I wouldn't really call it 3D. I guess there's a little bit of perspective around the school in the rooms and things like that. It's kind of a vanishing point perspective, actually, isn't it? With the point somewhere way right in the back of the middle of the school. Oh, there we go. Boy Wonder's the least favourite in this because he just knocks you down and you get into trouble so easily. I must be trying to get that middle shield at the moment. I'm going to try and knock one of the teachers over and get that middle shield, and that was far too soon. There we go. Got that one. Those are quite tricky. It's just a case of hanging around the right place and hoping you can do them when you need to. I've got Mr. Creek in the reading room. Fortunately, I wasn't able to scribble 1415. In the reading room, no one ever sits on the very, very back seat. So you always have a seat free in the reading room. Here you go. Well, at least Mr. Creek's cleaning a board. That means I could write the date on that board once I'm done. Of course, if you get caught writing on the board, you get into trouble. And even if you don't get caught, Einstein might tell on you. So another bit of trivia about the game. There is a remake, a PC remake, and it's a really, really good game. I think it was made by the Retrospect crowd, so you can probably go to their website and find out. I don't know if they're still going, actually. I haven't been to the Retrospect site for absolute years and years and years. They made remade a lot of Spectrum games, so I think there were remakes of Attic Attack and Saber Wolf and quite a few others. Jumping Jack was one I seem to remember as well. But there was a really, really good remake of Skool Daze called Class of '99, and that was converted to a number of different formats. I think you could get a Game Boy Advance version as well. And that was a terrific game, really, really good. You were Eric again, and the school felt quite similar to the school in Skool Daze, so it was quite similar. So here we go, writing on the board. 1415, that's when the Battle of Agincourt was and when Mr. Creek was born. Yeah, the Class of '99 was really good, but it had quite a different feel. You had to hit shields and things like that, and capture frogs and get into certain places, find stink bombs and things like that. Well, the other thing about the game was it was different to do. It had a really good feel. I remember one of the things is the teachers would say Eric lines whenever you got lines in quite a cool voice. That was a good feature of the game. Sky Ranger is great, which Boy Wonder's just written on the board there is of course a advert for another Microsphere game called Sky Ranger, which I've never played. Actually, I think I played when it came out way back in the day, but haven't played for a long time, and I can't agree or disagree of whether it was great or not. I think it was kind of a wireframe 3D graphics. Oh, let's hope he doesn't tell on us, or if he does tell on us, he gets lines himself for telling tales. That sometimes happens. He's told on Boy Wonder. But like I said, this does get a bit boring, this game. I'm not even halfway through and it's taken 15 minutes and I've had to sit in a lot of lessons. It's a chemistry lesson here. We're asking chemical symbols. What is the chemical symbol for zinc? It's probably Zn. I know it's Zn. Yay! Go There's Mr. Wacker in the other room teaching quadratic equations. I like the way that only one person would ever talk at once and they'd all take turns. And the fact that the teachers, when the bell goes, the teachers just stand there talking if they've started. It's a bit like Magnus Magnuson. Now, here's another feature of the game. So sometimes at playtime, something bad's got to happen. So in this one, Angel Face has got mumps, so I can't let him touch me. And the thing to do is actually, Angel Face passed us to the right. He did actually touch me anyway, but that doesn't count when you're being told by the kid. And what he'll do is he'll go up to the fire escape, and then he kind of walks all the way back through the school. So you just almost got to be lucky and make sure that go and hide somewhere in a corner and just hope he doesn't get to you or anything like that. I don't know if you can hit him with a catapult while he's got mumps to stop him from getting to you, but it can be a bit scary actually. I don't know where he's gone or where he's going to come. Sometimes if you hide in the corners in the gym or that entrance to the school place there, I think you'll be alright. I just seem to be wandering around rather nervously, going, don't get to me. Yeah, I think I've decided to hide in that corner and just cross my fingers that he doesn't come and get me and give me mumps. He shouldn't give me mumps though, because I think if he gives you mumps, the headmaster comes and just immediately tells you it's game over, which isn't a good thing. One thing I did read once, I've never tried this, is that if the headmaster is going to throw you out of school, so if you've got mumps or if you've got 10,000 lines, if you go to a blackboard and write on it and wait for absolutely ages, some timer in the game resets and the headmaster will just walk off. And he won't come and throw you out again until, if you've got more than 10,000 lines, until you're given lines again, which could be quite quickly, because sometimes you can just get lines going through the game. Now, dinner is horrible, because you have to go and stand in front of the dinner table at dinner, and everyone else moves around. So Angel Face can punch you, although if you stand with your back to him, he won't punch you. He only punches you full in the face. And Boy Wonder can hit you with a catapult. So what I tend to do is stand right at an end, as far away from everyone else as I can. And when the teacher comes, kind of switch over as quickly as I can. And that way, you're as far away from the teacher, so you shouldn't get lines off him. So if Boy Wonder knocks him over, you're not going to accidentally get lines for that. Stand up quick. It's Angel Face, so should be all right there. If I go one step over there, then Mr. Withit will come and tell you off. And there are other things that can happen, I think. I think at some point all the small kids can run around and start tripping you over, which again is just really, really annoying. It's a good idea to knock them over sometimes, because if you can get Einstein lines, you will get some extra points. Not that this really ever felt like a score attack game. Anyway, that's dinner. And we'll have another playtime after that, which again won't give us much chance to be getting any more shields. So you just got to keep your nose clean throughout all of this, which is one of the boring things about the game. There you go, Angel Face knocked me over. I got some more lines. 3,100 lines isn't bad for this point in the game. I think I was playing it pretty close. I've actually finished it with better goals than this. Now, a good thing to do at playtime is actually to go into the exam room, which is that big long one, because sometimes Boy Wonder will come in and write on the blackboard, and other times, if you've got one of the things you need to do at lunchtime, such as Angel Face having mumps, obviously one of the pupils comes in and tells you. When he comes in, you can hit him and use him to jump on to get the shield. There we go, right on this board. 14-15. Come on, Mr. Creek, you need to see that. Oh no, got caught. Shouldn't have been in the classroom. Naughty boy, Eric. That's over a third of the way through the lines now. So hopefully this playtime will end soon, and then we'll be able to get on with the game. And again, it's just really keeping your nose clean and making sure nothing too nasty happens to you during these playtimes. There's nothing really you can do at the moment to help progress the game. I've written Mr. Creek's birthday on every available blackboard. I've got every available shield. Just need to wander around. There we go. Boy Wonder knocking me down yet again. He really is a pain. Don't mind Angel Face. In fact, I was hoping Angel Face would punch him and knock him over there for hitting me with the catapult. I think actually there's a standard list of timetables in this game, but I think if you die, it just continues. It doesn't reset back to the start, because one of the things I remember from when I used to play this a long time ago, certainly on real hardware, we definitely used to play more than one game, is there didn't seem to be a pattern to the lessons. They just seemed to keep going and going and going. I know you always get a lesson quite early on with Mr. Creek, and it's nearly always the first thing he says, which is what happens in the year I was born. And of course, when you first start it, you don't know that. And what you've got to do is, back in the old days of the Spectrum, when you first got this game, you'd actually have to keep a piece of paper and keep writing them down. So you'd have to play the game lots and lots and lots of times before you knew all the battles that could possibly be Mr. Creek's birthday. So he asks when the battles are, and Einstein gives the right answer. So if you write down all those battles and the right answers, then when he asks when his birthday is, and Einstein says it's a certain battle, then you'll know the answer to that. It's quite a few battles. Hastings is one. If he asks Hastings, it's going to be 1066. Every schoolboy knows that. What else is there? Bosworth, which I'm guessing is Bosworth Field, which is the famous Richard III battle, of course. Trafalgar, Waterloo, Balaclava, Gettysburg. So quite a few, and quite a few different wars as well. Hastings is the only one I could ever remember as a kid. I certainly didn't know Agincourt. And as with some walkthroughs, there's going to be some periods of silence in this. As you can see, I'm just wandering around trying to keep my nose clean. Funny thing is, you get a hint of a catapult out. You get your catapult out at all in this game. And what happens? Teacher instantly gives you lines. Boy Wonder's walking around catapulting absolutely everything in sight. I haven't seen him get any lines. Same with Angelfish. You make a punching action, you'll be told, Eric, don't hit your mates straight away. Einstein goes around punching everything all the time. He's like Barry McGuigan. Actually, which reminds me, Barry McGuigan's boxing, that was a good game. I used to really enjoy. There we go. Oh, brilliant. We've got one of the letters. So there you see that tip that I said, where you could write on the blackboard before all the shields were done and guess Mr. Creek's letter. You can do. Right. So this is the tip for if you think Einstein's going to tell tales on you. If you keep knocking him off his seat, he can't get to the end of it. And as long as you... Oh, no, it is Eric as well. Come on, Eric. Keep knocking him off the seat. Ooh, you might be lucky. Keep going. Keep going. Telling me. See? Tells tales on you when you write on the blackboard. Now, if the bell goes before Einstein finishes talking, then I'll be all right. Oh, and he got lines for telling tales anyway, so I didn't have to go through all that. Oh well, there you go. And there's my magic number being written off. So hopefully it won't take me too long to be able to get the rest of the shields. In fact, I've even got Mr. Wacker in the exam room. Perfect. Because the exam room's the shields I need. And when Mr. Wacker comes in, walks to the front of the lesson, I can stand behind him, knock him on the floor, and bounce a caliper pellet off his head. It's absolutely perfect. Oh, this would be a maths lesson, won't it? Come on, boys. Come over here so I can knock you down and get a shield. Come on, don't be scared. I just want to knock you over and jump on you. Oh, here he comes. Right. Oh, not boy wonder again. Perfect. Oh, boy wonder's got lines. About time. I know he slows down here because he's cleaning the blackboard. So, yes. Result. Now, I don't think I noticed that I'd been knocked on the floor there when I was playing the game. Now, of course, Mr. Wacker's at the front asking sums, but you can't see that. So you've got to guess which sums have the answer. 3,300 and 4,750. And 5,100 and whatever it was. No. Getting lines. So I'm not quite halfway through the game. Although I'm probably slightly over halfway through the game because, of course, getting Mr. Krieg's birthday and getting him to give you his letter is quite a substantial piece of the game. So now I can go and knock those last two shields and start getting combination letters and putting them together. So remember what I said at the start, Mr. Wacker's letter always comes first. And what I do when I play this game is, when you have all four letters, obviously Mr. Wacker's letter comes first, just write the three other letters, Mr. Creeks, Mr. Whiffits and Mr. Rockets, letters down, and just make yourself a little table of 3x6 with all the possible combinations in. So put Mr. Creeks first, so or it'll be then Mr. Whiffits and Mr. Rockets and Mr. Rockets and Mr. Whiffits, and you just keep you do that. Then you put one of the others first, and the other two either way, and the final one first, and the other two, the two possible ways they can go, and that gives you 6 combinations. It's a good idea to write them down though, because you've got to remember which ones you've done. So we have a B for Mr. Rocket. M for Mr. Wacker. Still I need is Mr. Whiffit. Or had I already got him and I wasn't looking? I had. So the letters are M or Y and B. So you can actually. Oh no, not Einstein telling more tales. This one's really hard to stop. I think I read somewhere you've got to hit Einstein about 6 times, and if I remember rightly, I don't manage to do it on this go. If you understand, yes, I understand. Oh, and that wasn't the right combination because the safe didn't flash there. So whenever anything like that happens, whenever something's going to happen, Einstein will start from the fire escape. Now there's no point going up the stairs and trying to stop him there. Just need to. He's not going too fast. I think he speeds up when you hit him the first time. Right, so. And one of the worst things is sometimes you end up with more. Still can't hit him. That was too close. Oh, we got him once more. No. So what you can do now is try and leg it. Because if Mr. Wacker doesn't get to you and tell you off before it gets to the bell, then you won't get the whatever it is, 1,000 lines, 2,000 lines, or something like that. It's a horribly large number of lines that he gives you if he catches you. And believe me, you'll see him because he comes absolutely sprinting towards you. I think I was thinking I might be able to knock him over, actually. But I don't think you can. I think when he's on the rampage like that, you can't knock him over. What you don't want to do is go and hide in a room or anything like that. Don't know if the writing on the blackboard trick works then either. Now, here we go. How many lines is it going to... 2,000 lines. 7,100 lines. I really, really need to keep my nose clean now. So if I tried M or YB last time, I must be going to try M or BY next. Problem is, there's not even a clean blackboard. You need to have a clean blackboard to write it on. There's one good thing. In Back to School, you do something similar to get the combination lock for the bike, but you can write the combination in any order you like. You don't have to get the order right, which is brilliant. And then you can ride the bike, you can stand on the seat and jump off it. And you've got to jump on the seat. You've got to put a frog in You've got to put a frog into a cup and knock it on the headmistress's head in Back to School. So once again, what I'm really trying to do is keep my nose clean and keep out of trouble. It's a definite must now, as I've got 7,100 lines. Please don't give me any more lines. I'll be a good boy, honest. I'll clean the blackboards myself. But you can't do that. But you can't go and delete stuff off the blackboards. That would make the game a little bit easier, actually. Wow, but some of this is just a waiting game. 47 times table. Glad we didn't have to learn the 47 times table at school. Yeah, don't punch me, angel face. Mr. With it in the map room. We want to go into that room and try another safe combination first, though. Oh, I ran away. I guess it was worth it. Mind, we've only got 2,300 lines left before it's game over. Nope, not the right combination. Well, at least we've tried another one. We've only got 4 left, and then we've got to turn all the shields off. Now I think in these later lessons, you don't get as many pupils in your rooms, so could very well be a seat free in here for me. Doesn't look like Einstein's telling. Chance to learn some geography. Mr. Wacker likes saying silence are okay in lots of you. Don't know any of the geography questions. Geography questions are hard, aren't they? Is Istanbul not the capital of Turkey? Probably not. Where's the capital of Hungary? Come on, Einstein, tell us. Budapest. Yeah, I knew that, really. Which country's capital is... Oh, we're not going to find out. It's the end of the lesson. Caracas. Don't let Angel Face... Oh, not Angel Face touching me again. He's got the mumps. I'll tell you what. Things were really stacked against me. Oh, no, there he is. Run away. See Angel Face, run away. I don't think he goes into any classrooms, actually. I think I could have just hidden in the exam room there and I would have been okay. Wish I'd thought of that. Ah, no, I'm hiding in the white room. Ah, no. MBOY, that's what I'm doing. Ah, no, it doesn't look like he does. Right, so if he's going up there, if I can get out there without getting lines. Oh, let's see if I can jump up and get the safe. No, I don't want to go in there. You get told off for going in the classroom. Oh, an Angel Face is coming back. Just hope he doesn't come along here. Come on, keep going. No! Whew, glad he turned around there. Could have been a disaster. Things are really stacked against Eric in this game, aren't you? You kind of feel sorry for him. You've got Boy Wonder knocking me over all the time getting your lines, and he never gets lines. Mr. Withit in the map room. Oh no. Trying to quickly get it, and I jumped twice. 9,100 lines. Well, thankfully, I've got the... Thankfully, I actually managed... Not you again. You have to be kidding me, Boy Wonder. Oh, even if you sat down, he gets you. I think somewhere there's a page of bugs. I think somewhere on the internet there's a page of bugs with this game. Come on, get me one. Yes. Go the other way. Boy Wonder should get the lines for that. I wonder if I can get the other one. Actually, it doesn't matter because you can get that one from the stairs. Whew. That was a lucky one. I'm not going to stay there and try and get the next one. I'll get that sometime later. Oh, you can sit on the stairs. Look, 300 lines, 600 lines left before I'm dead. I'm actually almost starting to think I'm surprised I managed to complete this game. I mean, it's not like Back to School where I could go and kiss Haley and get her to take my lines off me. I was really cutting it close. Although it just goes to show you, I obviously did because this is a recording that I took when I completed the game. And it just goes to show you sometimes when you think that you're down and out, if you keep going, actually, it's not too bad. There's been a few games like that. If you go back and watch the original Night Law game that I did when the Night Law without commentary that's on my channel, It's one of the very, very, very first videos on there. In fact, I think it might be the first video on there. I actually die and lose all of my lives really close to the start. I mean, really, really close to the start. It's ludicrously close to the start. And yeah, I still managed to complete the game. Now you do get some extra lives, but in the game. Now if you stand on the stairs, you can hit the shields like that. You can only get the first one going either way. Now it's Mr. Wacker who I've got. I don't know why I'm running actually, because I presume I'd want to try and get not Mr. Wacker down and get that shield there. Yeah. Now come on, fingers crossed. Come on, Mr. Wacker, be a good boy. What have I decided to go from there? I've decided not to risk it by the looks of it. I think I was playing absolutely, utterly ultra cautious here. A bit like at the end of my last video. I've got a lot more shields there. I've got too many to get anymore. I've got those 4 in the exam room. But if you get a good one, if you get a lucky one where you can follow a teacher in, actually getting those 4 isn't too bad. And I think I've got 2 of the high ones right on the bottom floor to get. But again, if you get a lucky run, I mean, one of them you can get from the stairs, as long as there's no teachers around. Don't you dare. If he'd have told on me there, I'm pretty sure that would have been game over. Now, the trick is to get the right rhythm for standing and sitting. So you need to get it so that he sits back down before you sit down again. Right, he's going to tell him Boy Wonder anyway, but I couldn't risk it. Right, it's playtime, which does give me a chance to get those 2 shields down there, which would be good. That's that one. Yeah, there's one of them. Right, I just need a teacher to walk past, so I can knock him down and get that last shield. That's Mr. Whiffit. Bit of a dilemma here, because Boy Wonder might be going to write on the blackboard in the exam room, in which case I could knock him down a few times and get some shields that way. Shot. Oh, an Angel Face got lines. Like I say, Angel Face isn't too bad, he just punches you. He doesn't do it that often. Alright, there's Boy Wonder. Oh, didn't want to get lines of Mr. Rocket when he... Yes, that's the hardest one to get, actually. See if I can get any of these others. You never know, you look here. One left to guess. Oh, missed him. Right, so with any luck, in the next lesson, there'll be some pupils go into there and walk around. And I can just hang around, wait and get them. Hopefully, I'd imagine that's what I did. That's another thing you can do as well, actually, in the game. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be in the room. And actually, it's taking a risk. Well, I've got so few lines left. All I had to do was go to my lesson and have Einstein tell on me and say I'd hit him or something like that. And get, 800 lines you can get in one go. And that would have put me so close to, well, that would have put me over and it would have been game over. So hopefully I'll be able to go in that room and get it. And the other thing about that room, the exam room, is even if it's a different teacher to your own, if you can follow him in there sometimes and get it, it's a high risk strategy. Oh, Boy Wonder's going in there again. I didn't notice and didn't think to follow him. finished the game a few minutes early. Very, very nearly there. One shield. 600 lines to spare. As you can see, I was right what I said earlier though. It is a really, really boring game to to play properly, to actually play to complete the game. You don't get to just run around and do whatever you want, which is the big appeal of the game. It's still a fantastic game. It's still actually worth learning the game and doing. Back to School's not quite as bad, but there are some periods in Back to School where you need to wait quite a long time. It's Mr. Wacker's the bad one in Back to School because Mr. Wacker tends to just hang out in his office and occasionally wander around the school, and you've got to put water and brandy in some cups to get the combination lock for the bike and the combination lock for the safe. And waiting for Mr. All the other teachers walk kind of back and forward past those cups all the time. Whereas Mr. Wacker, it takes quite a while. Right, Mr. Rocket in the white room, but I think I'm going to take a chance and try. Yeah, come here, my friend. Oh, missed him. Right, got him. And there you go. Well done. Go up a year. And what you have to do when you go up a year is do it all again. But rather than doing it all again slowly, let's watch it all again quickly.
I'm a tail cannonball. You know my friends. Under the illusion that the fun will never end. Scheming in the basement, making my equations. Gotta get the numbers right. All my things and material dreams gonna come along tonight. But I love you, but hate you, and I don't anticipate you coming back. All I can do today is sit around and wait for a man like you to come along, to come and take my place. But what do you do when your face turns blue and your heels are kicking on the floor? And you're looking at me with a sense of glee that I've never ever seen before. 'Cause I love you but hate you, and I don't anticipate you coming back. And all my situations are black. She said, how could it be? As I walk through the back room to run, she said, I'll never see. But I love you but hate you. Yeah, love you but hate you. Yeah, love you but hate you, and I don't anticipate you coming back.
That was Cannibal by the British IBM to play us out on our fast run through. Hope you enjoyed that. I actually really, really like that track. That's one of my favourites off the album. As I said before when I used their music, thank you for Aidy for allowing me to do that. And also, if you like the music, please go and buy the album. Somebody actually posted a comment on YouTube saying that they'd listened to it and bought the album, so thank you very much for that. Aidy hasn't told me to say this. He's not paying me to advertise it. I do remember seeing something on BBC website, I think it was, saying bloggers on YouTube are going to have to say when they're being paid to plug things. Well, I'm not being paid to plug anything. I would plug Aidy's music anywhere I went. I really like the bit where it goes like this. That's a great bit the track, but it's a fantastic track. One of my favourite tracks, as I said, and it is a fantastic album. So Eric's still going. He's still going fast. Even the full track wasn't enough to do this, even at that accelerated speed. So before I go, thank you for everyone watching. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel. I'm nearly up to 100 subscribers. Hope to break the 100 subscribers soon. So if you're watching this and you like my stuff, please subscribe. That'd be great. Leave a comment. Please feel free to leave a comment. You'll notice that I don't have advertising turned on. I do all of this for free, so it's good to get some comments and some acknowledgement back as part of that, and I hope you all enjoy this. I'm not going to turn advertising on at all. I am using a few pieces of music, but I've got permission to use them. I wouldn't mind doing that, and anyone else who wants to give me permission to use any of their music, please do. So we're nearly at the end now. Eric's only got that one shield left to get. So there he goes. We're done again. And until next time, happy gaming.